Alright, here we are, game 2 between Planet Dog and Rocket Scientist. Rocket Scientist with a 1-0 lead over Planet Dog, looking to get one more win to move on to the final best of 3 to qualify for regionals in this open qualifier. Take a look at the draft so far. Puck, Clockwork banned out by Planet Dog. Sand King and Bat Rider picked up by them, and then Nyx, Night Stalker, Lena banned out by Rocket Scientist, and this time they're the ones who pick up Queen of Pain and Crystal Maiden. So interesting draft from both these teams. You've got position 4 and an offlaner for Planet Dog in the mid, and position 5 for Rocket Scientist thus far.
Unless they do anything really drastic, that sounds pretty set to me. So I have a feeling after last game, Planet Dog won't be like too happy. They probably thought they're the better team. They can just win by split pushing and outplaying. So either hope they keep their composure or they show some really cool stuff when they're angry.
Yeah, being one game away from elimination is, it's a lot of pressure too. Maybe we see the pressure fold on them and just see kind of Rocket Scientists run away with this game.
I like the bans they did as well. Slack's really good against the two heroes, and Huskar is something that I know Solon's had a tendency to draft in the past, so if you don't have ways of dealing with it, banning it out is better.
Well, yeah, also ban out the Sark after the performance phase just threw all over you, and now you've got Darkseer, Crystal Maiden, Queen of Pain. I like Darkseer, very good in the early game. Would work well with Queen of Pain as well. Darkseer, Crystal Maiden, Queen of Pain, Bat Rider, Sand King are picked up so far. I maybe see a Spirit Breaker come out for Rocket Scientist. Sometimes you see that with the Darkseer. And then Planet Dog. They've got Bat Rider, Sand King right now, so good amount of lockdown for them. And now they picked up Disruptor.
Radiant team pick.
Really, really good hero this game, actually. Lanes well against Darkseer offers you a lot of kill potential, enables Sand King to get his stuns out pre-blink, and it's a nightmare to play Qual against Disruptor. And Sand King and Bat, actually.
10 seconds remaining.
Like, you really have to pick your options of where to go in and how to play. At least she does have Darkseer and Slider, who are two pretty strong frontline heroes in the early game.
So pick up Swordar, so Swordar that position 4, Darkseer your offlaner, Crystal Maiden 5, Quap over mid. They don't have Sark to pick this time around, but what do you think is going to be their safe laner? You see someone like a Sven come in, especially with Darkseer Vacuum available?
Sven could work, but I feel like it's really susceptible against Bat. And the Slider's a hero that likes to move around a bit more than stay in his safe lane, so I think Sven would be a bit of a trap. Maybe something more like Troll, Ursa, even Veno, if they wanted to have a slightly more kill-based lane.
Definitely have
10
no
remaining.
quarrel with Veno. I'd like to see that here, especially in the carry role. It's always interesting to watch how teams try to react to that, because some teams just don't know how to counter it at all, and this team that should be better, all of a sudden Veno gets picked up against them and they crumble.
Veno's definitely a cool hero, but he does take a while to come online.
10 seconds remaining.
For at least the right clicking potential.
5 seconds
I think if they rolled Veno with the Crystal Maiden, though, they could have quite a bit, especially with the mana regen. You get the Venomous Scale up a couple of levels.
And I could see it being really good from this game, but
Dire team pick.
I have a feeling they will go elsewhere. This game, there's so many stuns and control from the other side. You're going to want a hero that buys BKB, I think. And Veno is not a BKB buyer. Which is why they also banned out Nyx.
5 seconds remaining.
As far as Dog go, I think they just want a safe lane hero that doesn't get completely shafted by Darkseer, and they'll be in a good spot. Their other four heroes do so much. You can pick nearly any core into this and feel like your team's gonna enable you to do what you want to do. I mean, it's not even too bad of a lone druid game if they wanted to go that way. I'm not sure they play it though. I think 33 is the lone druid player, and he already has his hero.
I'm trying to think what Planet Dog could go with here.
Even Razor's still in the pool. Razor works really well with what they have.
Razor
It's
kind of
not
works
so
with both
good
these
against
teams.
Darks here, but
No, Razor kind of fits into like every lineup, and he works. I think he works well with Rocket Scientist as well.
yeah, he is really good against DK in fights. The main reason I wouldn't want Razor for the Radiant is Batrider just causes him a lot of problems early game. Which is why I preferred like Veno or someone else who actually has like turn potential when
10
you kill him with the supports.
Radiant
Planet
team
Dog, they
pick.
go with the Lycan. So Lycan, Dragonite, Disruptor, Batrider, Sand King. Keep this little reddish-orange tint to the whole team.
Any draft that has Lycan DK, I'm a fan of.
10 seconds
Especially
remaining.
early. I feel like with Howl, Disruptor, and Sand King as your supports with
5
Lycan.
seconds remaining.
A lot of potential up there for kills with the Glimpse back. I like...
Reserve
Yeah, they
time.
have a really active trio early game, and then they have two cores that peak really early with armlets and stuff, and they hit buildings really well. I like their draft a lot.
Yeah, I like their draft, and I feel like, in a way, Rocket Scientist draft is kind of lacking. And now you can't. I don't think you can really go with that Razor for Rocket Scientist. Like, and just looks like he could just rip you to shreds.
Sven might be a bit more of an option now because the extra armor is going to come into play a lot, and you need a hero that can eventually man fight. Like, Sven doesn't win against Lycan for the first 15-20 minutes, but after that, when Sven gets his like quad of items, it becomes a different story. They'll just have a harder early game if they do that, but they seem to be fine with shitty early games after their performance in game one.
So, 35 seconds left. Let's see what they want to pick up last against this team.
I'm just looking at the hero pool, and Sven's the thing I keep coming back to. Yeah. It just feels like the easiest. But this kind of fits in, I suppose. It's the man fighting aspect. It's slightly better in the lane as well because you can play at a distance.
And it's the troll you said was coming a couple picks ago, so...
Well, I listed off like 10 heroes, so don't give me any credit for that.
You know, still worth a pat on the back. I don't know. If I ever called a hero right, I was cheer myself up a little bit.
So I feel like if you know the teams, calling heroes is pretty easy, but if you're just coming in, it's like calling what they kind of need in their draft makes a lot more sense than saying specific heroes, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have told you they're going to pick Troll 100% because I know the team and how they react in
10
different
seconds
situations,
remaining.
it's not like, you know, next level meta calling or something, it's just
5
reading out
seconds
a
remaining.
page. Some people seem to really like it when casters call heroes, so it makes them look better in the public eye, I think. So maybe I should just do it more.
It ups your caster MMR by about 200.
I don't know. I've never thought it's that impressive personally.
So, let's take a look at these drafts from both these teams. What do you think? You thinking Planet Dog, they just have the better draft with both the Lycan and the Dragonite? Because, last time we did think that Rocket Scientists had the better draft, and they were the ones who ended up winning. But now, do Planet Dog, being what we think is the better team, have the better draft this time around?
Prepare for battle.
I'm not so sure they have like a straight up better draft like they did last game, but personally, I really like the heroes they have together. They have a lot of ways of like utilizing the Lycan Wolves as well. If he scouts out the heroes, it gives them a lot of an easier time initiating, which they have multiple ways of doing. The main problem I see them running into is once Troll gets to a point where he has like Sanjin Yasha, BKB, and maybe one item that lets him get in and out the fight, whether it's like Blink or something. Whirling Axes is going to be a big problem for them to actually like get through, because neither of these heroes want to buy like an early MKB, and they might have a BKB, but if they can kite that, etc., you know. And also then the man fighting, because they can't kill Troll that easily once Lycan's been blinded. They don't have that most physical damage. Well, if he has a BKB. And then he's just going to win the man fight. So I think the draft's a lot more even this game. I think it's really much more down to play, especially on the supports from both sides. Like, their early game movements might end up giving the advantage that lets the team get Roche, and then that's where both teams have the option to snowball really, really hard. Because fighting's key this game, and Roche is the biggest determining factor in early game fights, most of the time.
So let's take a look around the horn real quick as we see J4 on the Disruptor, Milan on that Sand King, Swift Ending on the Lycan, 33 on the Bat Rider, and Kaiser on the Dragonite for the other side. Let's take a look. Crystal Maiden, Solan again. Faye is going to be on the Troll this time around. Bashrok is playing the Swardar, Quap, Mastermind, and then Heija on the Darkseer. Now, let's say the game happens again and starts the way it did last time, where this Sentry's actually gonna miss this ward.
Game will be over if early game is the same.
You definitely
last
think so?
game, they had heroes that needed time to come online, and they needed to be like an item ahead to really end the game and push their advantage, which they were at times, and then they just didn't execute properly. This game, like, it's so much easier for them to end if they have an advantage. Because they have overwhelming teamfight, really good pickoff. Like, their draft is... The only thing it doesn't really do well is scale without a lead. You know, Lycan and DK both drop off when items aren't equal or one ahead. They man fight pretty well until like 30-40 minutes, but after that, could be issues, especially with Sladar in the game.
So we'll just have to see if it goes the same way, and you know, how Planet Dog are going to react to being down 1-0. They're a game away from being eliminated. Maybe that pressure is too much for Planet Dog, or maybe on the other side for Rocket Scientist, the pressure of knowing you're one game away from going to the finals is too much for them to handle. You know, we could see a bit of miscues come out from both these teams just because of the sheer pressure that's on both of them.
The other option you didn't list is some teams play really well under pressure.
Yeah. Some teams love the heavy-duty pressure. Go to the lower bracket, kill it. We've seen that a bunch of times. Obviously, there's no lower bracket here, but there are some teams that do work well with pressure. So again, 1-0 lead for the side of Rocket Scientists over Planet Dog. And Planet Dog trying to keep their hopes alive. Rocket Scientists, they're looking to move on. I'm not too sure that the other semifinal has started yet. The last I looked, it was EPG versus Despacio, and the winner of that going on to fight be opposing Moriarty, who we had seen in the first open qualifier. So take a look up top. Swift Ending again having an easy time. His farm has been pretty easy, as you've got both the Disruptor and the Sand King kind of harassing out this Darkseer, and Heija is just, you know, still level 1, trying to find himself level 2. Iron Shell not doing too much for him, and Swift Ending playing around it. Him and the Dragonite doing very well right now.
Yeah, the supports are doing the right thing, I think. Just putting all of their early game into zoning out the stacks here. The bat's going to be able to do a bit more, I feel like, when Sand King gets his levels as well. So this is like much better than him starting bottom.
Take a look up top. They've got the stun out on this Darkseer as well as the cage, and Thunderstrike should be close to a kill, if not a kill, and J4 will lock it up with the Thunderstrike and Swift and get one more hit beforehand. So coming over a bit too late is going to be Bashrock, and that's exactly what Planet Dog were hoping for. An early good start for him, swift ending, an early lead, level 3, almost level 4. And now they've got the Ion Shell on this Slardar, but he'll be zoned out as well, just taking a lot of damage from both J4 and swift ending.
Yeah, this is a horrible time for the Slardar to not be bottom as well, because CM pulls a double stack, and then Batrider just goes and gets all the experience. There's some last hits for free, because they can't zone him away, so he's going to be pretty happy with that. You know, his CS isn't ideal, but he's getting his levels, and he'll catch up with the farm later, especially if his team decides to stack for him at any point. But I think they're otherwise engaged at the moment.
Just trying to push away 33 is Faye, and last game we did see Faye have a pretty slow start. So hopefully, you know, with what he did with the farm he got going later into that game, maybe we see him get a good start and he takes over this game.
Definitely possible. Qual is a very snowbally hero.
Invisibility.
So over mid, Kaiser still doing very well above this Quap, and now Bashrock's going to take over. They've sent Mastermind all the way back, and DK just having, again, just an easy time. And it looks very good for him.
It's a hard matchup for Quap to like zone the DK out, but I wouldn't personally expect him to be getting out CS'd this much. He went for the double null early to like prioritize his CS, but I feel like the only reason he loses this lane is if he doesn't have regen, so you want the bottle first. And I think it's kind of biting him in the ass here. Because you don't have a shrine before you get your bottle if you go double null anymore with the patch.
So let's see if they can go in on this troll. They've got the Burrow Strike and a bunch of stacks of sticky napalm. Going to be stunned up by Soin with the Frostbite, but they're going to dive all the way past this tower. Troll should be dead as he gets burned away by that Firefly. And he'll end up dropping. So again, FaZe lane going to be a tough one to overcome. And even if he gets that opportunity, you've got Lycan doing well, and also this DK. Faye dropping is a huge deal for Planet Dog to try and lock up a game of their own.
Yeah, and you look at the Slardar hero who's moved around the map a few times, accomplished basically nothing with every rotation. You know, if he's bottom, that kill doesn't happen. If he doesn't go top, the Batrider doesn't take the stack to get level 4.
Come in handy.
The kill also doesn't happen. Feels bad, man. For the Slardar.
They actually look over towards this Dragonite. Regen's still going to be picked up by Kaiser. Quap tries to blink in, stunned by the Dragon Tail. He'll drop. And Kaiser gets to the regen first. A little bit of a slow reaction from Bashrock. And they are starting to crumble quite a bit. 3-0 in the favor of Planet Dog.
Not as bad as the early game from last game, but it's starting to pick up. You know, I suppose the best thing about that is DK doesn't get any tower damage out of his ult, but that's a very small silver lining. You know, they're trying to go on him here, he just doesn't give a shit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now bottom, Troll's gonna get lassoed. He's dead.
So comes in, he's going to get very low, he'll end up dropping. Faye's going to
Top tower is
hit the
under
deck,
attack.
as will Solen. 5-0 for Planet Dog.
Yeah, it feels like they're really not reading the game well. And I don't mean to harp on one player, but it's also a team thing, right?
Yeah.
His carry could be saying, look, this Batrider's gonna shit on me, I need you bottom. And he's either not
Radiant's top
coming or the
tower
call's
is
not
under
being
attack.
made. They've got no vision in the area either, and like now he's trying to go down here on his own.
He might even just be dead.
Yeah, like this is ginormous. This is half the reason they're losing their game right now.
Yeah, Flame Break going to be nice. Push him right on back. The burns coming in as well as J4. And they get another kill, 6-0. It's that kind of early game one-sidedness we saw in the first game, except I think Planet Dog aren't going to make the same mistake twice in becoming complacent with the game.
I hope not, because this game is a lot harder for them to be complacent. And again, like they're trying to go on a hero that they just they don't have damage to kill.
Yeah, and they've got the Howl. He'll be back up, and then now they're going to try and chase this Crystal Maiden. Now locked up in the cage. Burrow Strike hits from Milan. They'll get themselves one more. 7-0 in favor of Planet Dog. It's become a steam train downhill, and I don't know if Rocket Scientists are going to have anything to really stop it.
They have to stop playing desperate and start playing smart. Because right now, like, going on DK there, it's an autopilot move. It's like, okay, their supports aren't quite here yet. We're gonna TP in, we're gonna do some damage. Qual has ulti, let's try and kill him, right? But you don't accomplish anything with that. You don't have any vision on your own side of the map right now. And anytime your carry goes anywhere near his tower, he's getting dived because Batrider is like this kind of aggressive hero, supplemented with 2 pretty strong initiating support. They're just trying to play in the wrong lane the entire time, and like Sladar's still not realizing the problem. Maybe he feels like he can't go down there, but in that case it's like the team can't go down there at all if he doesn't want to play there. And they have a Quap with a TP and level 6. So if he goes down there, they dive. Quap TP's in, 3 turn kills. They're just not... They're either too scared or they're not seeing it, and it's punishing them a lot. Because now Bat's playing with like complete freedom. They're not punishing the DK at all. He's had like 3 heroes in his lane the past 2 minutes. Doesn't give a crap, he's just killing them. Lycan's free farming top because he has a shit ton of regen. He's even going to kill the Darkseer here if he gets lucky crits.
Ooh, can he get it? 1, 2, no. Just not in time. And it's hard for the side of Rocket Scientists to go in on the cores anyway. They've got Howl. He'll keep them alive that much longer. DK's probably the hardest hero to kill right now, and why would you even want to go in on him? And look at how clumped, not at this exact moment, but they were clumped up over mid for such a long time, Lycan just farming away.
This is like the first good thing they're doing, is where they're trying to kill the Lycan that used his ult.
Yeah, they're going to try and come over. He's going to get a little bit low. Sand King actually stops his TP because he knows that Lycan's just going to be alright.
Now there's a DK hitting Metal with his ult. Troll's trying to take like a double stack of Ancients, which is not play. I mean, the last game, I saw a window for them to come back in, just because of like their team composition, how many stuns and stuff they had, and like their initiation. But this game, it's like they're just crumbling so much.
It's gonna be very hard. They've lost the mid-tier 1. You don't really have a counter to that. While that's all happening, Swift Ending's gonna take the bottom tier 1. A lot of gold chunks going their way. The stun comes out on Quap. Quap might be in a little bit of trouble. Static Storm's gonna stop him from blinking, so now they're gonna continue on, and Mastermind's gonna fall once more. J4, perfect cage, perfect Static Storm. Now the Glimpse is back. They've got themselves Solen. Solen should be the next one to fall. If he can get that Dragon Tail, I don't know if it's going to be... he's got the range, he's got the kill. And they might have a Courier! Actually, the Courier saves the life of the Crystal Maiden.
That's not worth. Courier's worth like 4 times more. They got a tower, so...
Yeah, but
there's a trade.
3 are up top, they lose their Quap, they lose their Courier, they're losing a tier 2 mid and bottom.
Yeah, it's just like, feels bad, man. And this is why I was like, if this early game goes remotely as bad, like, there's no way they lose. Because look at how strong they are.
What can they do? A nice Sonic Wave. Milan and N33 are a little bit low, but Mastermind, I don't think he has enough to get away anymore. He's going to be knocked out. It's now 11-0, going to be 12-0 with the Crystal Maiden falling. They're losing their mid-tier 2. Their bottom tier 2 is very low. Swifting will just go back to taking that. And now 12-0, 8,000 net worth lead at 12 minutes in. Is all I've got to explain how I feel.
Well, Well, if we ignore the first game's context, this is kind of what I'd expect with the series. Because Protodo are just Planet Dog are just a better team. You know, they play at a higher level more consistently. And they're showing it here. I think they also have slightly more comfort heroes, like 33 on his bat is like his most played hero by far. The other team's not dealing with it well, so he's having a really easy time playing. And they can actually use their leads this game as well. Like, Lycan doesn't even need to finish like these items, they're just stronger right now because of Howl and Nighttime. So if they ever want to take a fight, they're Gucci to go. And it means no more sitting back, waiting 5 minutes for someone to finish an item and then hoping that they execute correctly in the fights.
Yeah, it's completely a different execution this game. The way that they're not just sitting around the way they were in game 1.
I think it kind of goes back to what I said in the draft, where they thought they were a better team, so they drafted the split push and thought they could just win that way. And they were pretty close to doing so, they just made 1 or 2 mistakes and the game snowballed. Whereas this game, it's like, okay fine, screw split push, let's just play real heroes, let's not treat them like a bad team, and they're playing properly and they're winning.
You know, the thing is, they're behind so much, they've gone for the wrong heroes, they've almost killed a bunch of these heroes, so like just over in the fight mid, they almost killed a couple of those heroes with the nice Sonic Wave, but you know, 12-0 almost doesn't count. Except in horseshoes and hand grenades, my dad once said. And, you know, getting close to getting these kills and now being backed up to your base.
They just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
As well. Like,
This'll come in handy.
this is not a game where where you can cure what's happened. You have to prevent it.
I don't even think that this Darkseer is going to be able to escape. He'll be dead. That's 13-0, and this game is just, it's very one-sided, and they're looking at this kill on the Quap. They've got the lasso to pull back the Slardar. The Static Storm comes out on the Quap. Milan doing his best he can. He'll die to Swift. Denning chasing in. Slardar's the next to hit the deck. 15-0. This is a shellacking.
I think he used the wrong chat wheel. This is where you type GG, not don't give up.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And this is without a Roche as well. They have no tier 2 towers, so their only map control is 2 shrines right now, which probably going to be warded up. 1 already is. And they have Blink on Sand King as well as the Bat now. They're just kind of waiting for, I think their ults to cool down, and then they'll be quite happy to either take a fight or go Roche. So they're going to see the Slardar here as well, so maybe they can get the Blinks. DK also has one with a DD rune, so he's pretty strong right now.
He wants to go for it, and there's the ult, there's the stun. Slardar right to the hands of the Dragonite. What more can you say? He's dead. Crystal Maiden falls up top to J4 and Milan. It is now 17-0.
Yeah, they finally surpassed the clock in terms of kills per minute. They even get a nice little regen rune. Game's just being really good to them right now.
It seemed like Rocket Scientists kind of forced themselves into this situation. Like, they put themselves here, continuing to try and gank, continuing to try and go on these heroes when they should have just been sitting back. They, you know, had these ugly ganks, and now they're down 17-0, 13,000 net worth. They haven't gotten a kill. They haven't gotten anything out of this game.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
But this is the difference between like tier 1 players and you know, like the tier 2 margin, where they probably felt like they had to do things.
They almost got their first kill on Sand King. He's going to get away into the base. The Shadow Strike I thought would be enough. Here's the lasso on the Quap. Instead, Mastermind will fall to 33. Now they take a look over at Solen. He's going to be Thunderstruck as well as glimpsed back into the team. It was almost 17-1. Now it's 19-0. I just feel so bad. Now, Darkseer, he's way behind enemy lines. Milan is here, who almost fell for the first time. And now they're going to get the Burrow Strike. Epicenter comes out. If you're Slardar, do you try and help him? I guess you can with the Corrosive Haze and a Slithering Crush, but now you're going to be the one in trouble, as closing the distance is going to be the rest of the team. He tries to TP, stops it immediately. I think he knows he's just dead. There's the late Burrow Strike. He's got to have a feeling that the team's coming in for him. And there's the burn in 33 with another kill.
That is the look of a man who has given up.
But not said GG yet.
Oh, maybe they all feel like the game's over, but they agree that they should always play it out.
Which is fine. I get that, and that's how I like to play in my,
It doesn't hurt.
you know, pubs.
They could throw. They could go into base with Aegis and dive tier 4s, and a buyback could come out and they turn it. And
Yeah.
similar to last game.
Anything is possible in Dota, I think, with where it's at right now, where as long as the Ancient's still standing, anything can happen. That's always my belief in it.
Yeah. I suffer from, you know, seeing what should happen, and then when it doesn't, it's like, what the hell? But I wish I had the optimism of some people, because it would make the game way more enjoyable to watch. Whereas now it's just like the inevitable sealing of the coffin.
I mean, you'll see. 32 minutes in, the game will be 21-20. So somehow Rocket Scientist will take this series 2-0.
Alright boys, clip that shit and then flame him on Reddit when he's wrong. Hey,
There's the glimpse over bottom. They pull him back in. They're going to get this troll as he's under the static storm. He'll die. There goes the Slardar. Did I say 21-20? I meant 23-22, and they've got the lasso out on the start here. I meant 24-23. The ulti comes in from Solen, but it's really not doing anything. Kaiser's getting a little bit low with that Corrosive Haze. They get the Sonic Wave to fly through, but it doesn't do anything as well, and they're going to lose another. Solen's dropping again. They finally pop in Aegis. So, I mean,
doesn't count.
it's still horseshoes and hand grenades. Almost is just almost. He blinks in. Big Burrow Strike comes through. They're cleaning up the rest of this team. Rocket Scientists, can they at least get one? They've lost 4. They're trying to get the Sand King. That'll be a full team wipe. It ends up being 28-0. Oh my god.
I don't
That
think I've
was-
ever seen kills above like 20-0 in like somewhat close games. So pretty commanding performance, more than 1 kgpm a minute as a lead.
Jesus.
Their draft was just like, they could use their advantage. They play better, they have heroes that capitalize, they go win Dota.
Yeah.
Biggest problem this game was